Greetings of the day. I Asha K, Assistant Professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Sai Vidya Institute of Technology, Bangalore, going to present a video lecture on the concepts of digital signal processing algorithm and architecture for the 7th semester elective course. The course code is 17EC751. In this video lecture, we are going to learn about the Module 5, Direct Memory Access Operation. Now, in today's class, we are going to learn about the Direct Memory Access Operation in the DSP processor. So, here in many applications, as we know, there is a data transfer between the DSP and memory, and also DSP and input-output devices. However, there are maybe need for transfer of large amount of data between two memory regions or between the memory and the input output. So since the amount of data that we are transferring is very large, it will engage the DSP in the data transfer task for longer time. Since it has to do many other operations simultaneously, this can be avoided. The engaging of the DSP can be avoided by using the direct memory access concept. The DSP will thus get not utilized for the purpose what it is meant for, that is for the data manipulation. The intervention of DSP has to be avoided for two reasons. First one, to utilize the DSP for useful signal processing task and to increase the speed of the transfer by direct data transfer between the memory or memory and input output. The direct data transfer is referred to as direct memory access operation. It is also called as DMA. Here, the figure 1 is explaining us the interfacing between the DSP and the external devices. So DSP with memory and DSP with input-output interface. So both are shown with the memory and with the interface of input-output also. Data transfer with intervention by DSP. We are performing here in this particular figure 2 the transfer of the data from memory to another memory or memory to DSP and from again memory to input output using a DSP processor. What happens in direct memory access, we can perform the transfer of data without intervention of the DSP. That is called as the direct memory access that we are going to study in the presentation. Without involving the DSP for the data transfer or for data manipulation, we can transfer the data from memory to memory or from memory to input output, that is without intervention of the DSP. The process or the operation is called as direct memory access. In direct memory access, the data transfer can be between memory and peripherals, which are either internal or external device. The DMA controller will manages the operations related to direct memory access. Thus, the DSP is relieved of the task of data transfer because of direct transfer of the information, and also speed of the transfer is high since the DSP is not involved in this. The TMS320C54XX processor, we have 6 independent programmable DMA channels. Each channel is between certain source and destinations. It is dedicated for certain source and destination. How many independent channels we have here? 6 independent programmable DMA channel is available in Texas Instrument manufactured 32-bit complementary metal oxide semiconductor fabricated 54XX family DSP processor. One channel at a time can be used for data transfer not all 6 simultaneously used here. These channels can be prioritized. The speed of the transfer measured in terms of number of clock cycles for one DMA transfer depends on several factors such as what kind of source and destination locations I have chosen, or what are the external interface conditions we have, the number of active DMA channels present, and also wait states and bank switching time. The time for data transfer between the two internal memory is 4 cycles for each word. 2 cycles are used for read and 2 cycles are used for write operation. In direct memory access, configuration is very important. We will learn about direct memory access configuration. Prior to data transfer or before the data transfer, the DMA register have to be configured suitably. Configuration involves specifying the details such as which channel is to be used for transfer, mode of the transfer that we are using, source and destination addresses, assignment of priorities to different channels, and size of the block frame and data element that we have. The number of registers need to be programmed with configured information in the DMA configuration. The requirements of maintaining the channels are source and destination addresses for the channel separately for each channel is very important. Data transfer is in the form of block, each block having a frame, each frame is having number of elements. The frames of size can be 16 or 32 bit we may have here. A block size, frame size, element size data are all programmable in case of direct memory access. Here we will be having 5 channel context registers for each DMA channel. They are generally source address register, which is called as DMSRC, destination address register, which is known as DMDST, element count register, that is counter, DMCTR, synchronous select frame count register, that is DMSFC, transfer mode control register, that is DMMCR, are the 5 channel context registers we are having in the DMA channel. The context registers related to source address and the destination address holds the source and destination addresses. DMCTR is for holding the number of data elements in a frame. It acts like a counter. DMSFC is to convey synchronous event to use to trigger DMA transfer. Also, word size for the transfer. For holding the frame count, we use DMSFC. DMMCR controls the transfer mode by specifying the source and destination spaces as program space, data space, or input output space. That will be done by mode control register of direct memory access. Source address reload, destination address reload are useful in reloading the source address and destination address while configuring the direct memory access. In configuration of DMA, we have count reload and frame count reload. They are used in reloading the count and frame details. Additional registers for direct memory access, those are common to all the branches or all the channels, are source program page address, DMSRCP, Destination Program Page Address, DMDSTP, Element Index Address Register, Frame Index Address Registers. We'll be having here 62 registers used for the purpose, but among 3 plus 1 priority related are available for the use. They are, that is, DMA Priority and Enable Control Register, which is called as DMPREC, DMA Subbank Address Register, which is called as DMA-SA, which is important in subbank technique, register subbank technique, sub-addressing technique, DMA Subbank Data Register with Auto Increment, which is called as DMSDI, DMA Subbank Data Register, which is called as DMSDN. Now we will discuss about the subtopic in the DMA configuration, that is called as register subaddressing. To access each of the DMA register subaddressing technique is used here. The schematic of the arrangement is shown in figure 4. It consists of a set of DMA registers of all channel 62 are made available in a set of memory locations. These are called as the subbanks. This avoids the need of 62 memory mapped registers usage. The contents of either DMSDI or DMSDN indicate the code, that is ones and zeros, to be written for a DMA register. The content of the, that is subaddressing DMA-SA, refers to the unique subaddress of the DMA register to be accessed. Multiplexers routes either DMSDI or DMSDN to the subbank, the memory location to be written. We have here DMSDI is used when an automatic increment of the subaddress is required after each access. Whenever we want automatic increment of the subaddress, so in such cases we are going to use DMSDI. Thus it can be used to configure the entire set of registers. DMSDN is used when single DMA register access is required. The block diagram of DMA register addressing is explained in figure 4. Register subaddressing technique. It basically consists of two DMSDI, DMSDN subbank access registers, DMSA subbank address register to control the like register access with the help of two memory mapped registers DMSDI and DMSDN. It is a set of location wherein the subaddress registers are present. This is the register subaddressing technique. To configure the DMA registers, its code for the configuration is loaded onto the two subbank access registers. The subaddress of the DMA registers are loaded to the subbank address register DMSA. It directs the multiplexer to connect subbank access registers to desired physical location. So these are the desired physical location as in this particular figure. The DMSDI is used when automatic increment of the subaddress is required after each access, whereas the DMSDN is used to configure entire set of registers. Entire set of registers is configured by using DMSDN. DMSDN. So here we are using only two memory mapped registers, DMSDI and DMSDN, to enable the user to have access to all the DMA registers. But it is a two-step process. The one step is to set up the DMA SA, that is control signal, and the other is to read or write the entire DMA SDN and DMA SDI memory mapped registers. So with the help of this, we can like configure the DMA registers. So this ends the concept of direct memory access operation, direct memory access configuration, and register sub-addressing technique of direct memory access. To prepare the content in this particular presentation, the textbook referred is this and the reference books referred are the following. Thank you.